Hello, my name is François Paré. I'm a professor of French at the University of Waterloo in the Department of French Studies. I started working, in fact I still work, in the area of Francophone literatures, Quebec, France, and French Canada as a whole. But I've drifted, in fact, in the past 15 years in something that I've become far more interested in. That is what I call the ecology of cultures and languages. In a world that tends to lead us to having just one language and one culture and one way of thinking, a monoculture, I tend to work in the defense of plurality, in the defense of smaller literatures, marginal literatures in Africa, here in North America. In Quebec itself, there are minorities everywhere, and those minorities are cultural actors, and they want to be seen and present, and I work on that. Contrary to what we used to think maybe even 25 years ago, literature is not disconnected from real life. It is real life. And we have to take into account also that literature has been, since the 19th century, one of the centerpieces for national identities. I do think that our society overall is looking at one as the ideal. Our utopia is a world that would be one. Certainly the push towards English as a means of communication that has happened here. It happens here in North America in a very, very evident way, but it happens in Europe as well, where English has, without much consultation, become the language of Western Europe. That in itself is not a problem. I think English is a fabulous language. It has no problem with that, but it does tend to carry with it a sense that with that language, there will be just one way of doing things. It's actually surprised me because I realized that only just a few years ago how diverse in terms of multidisciplinarity this had become for me. I certainly started working on literary texts and mainly analyzing them just like anybody else. And I still do that. I enjoy that a whole lot because it does produce meaning. But I go well beyond that now. I work on very small things, and the interesting thing is that small things do have an impact on wider issues, very similar to what's happening to ecology in nature. We fight for the lone plant in the Alps, and we'll go a long way to fight for that. There is about one language disappearing every day in the world at the moment, and we don't do a thing. We think it's normal. And that's the normality I'm working against. It's not normal.